Hello, my name is Paul Mercer. I was raised in North Florida on a farm. We grew up hard, working hard. We weren't very rich people, but as we grew up, we learned some value of hard work. We learned Christian morality, and we were just common average folk at that time. And from my life experience from that time is what this book came about from. Today in our society, depression is a real, very bad thing, and it's not only in our country, but it's all over the world. But as a young child, growing up in this era, I was injured in an accident. A lawnmower picked up a piece of wire, throwed it in my right knee, and from that I developed a disease called tetanus. The slang name used at that time was called lockjaw. This disease killed most people that contacted it at that time. They had a serum, but it wasn't that effective. 1 in 3 survived. Most people died from the disease, but I survived, but with some lasting consequences from the disease. It attacked my brain, it attacked my nervous system, and because of this, I ended up with extreme depression. The problem today in our society, and pretty much the world, people don't understand the seriousness of depression. There's really no way to study it or really make people aware how bad this problem is. Depression, a person can have it, not even realize that they have depression. And because they don't even know they have depression, there's no way for them to find out and ask questions and do a thorough study on this. But the thing why depression is so serious, depression can cause a person to have stress. It can cause people to have stroke and heart attack from the stress. It lowers the immune system. As the immune system is lowered, you can be susceptible to diseases like cancer. So the death from depression is not just limited to the people who commit suicide from it, but it also takes in a host of other factors. But depression doesn't have to end in death just to be bad part, serious part about it. The thing about depression, if it destroys your joy of living and your joy of life, it's already destroyed you. Life is not worth living if you're here and you're miserable every day. You dread each day. You don't even want to face each day. You don't want to get up and face it. You have a dread. That's not living. So depression's already destroyed you when you're like that. Depression will destroy all relationships. It will destroy your relationship with your husband, wife, mother, father, children, friends. It will destroy your relationship with God. Society has always kind of had a embarrassed look, kind of ashamed because they think of depression, somebody might be a little mentally weak, but that's not the case. There's not a person living that's immune from depression. Depression can come from a multitude of factors. It could be a hormone imbalance. It can be a chemical imbalance. It could be from stress in your life, from bad relationships. It can be because of disease or accidents and injuries. Depression has a multitude of causes, and people just don't understand the seriousness of this disease. The society could get a grip of how serious this disease is, its attitude would change about it. But unfortunately, it's just not aware in society about how bad this disease, this illness is. Well, the medical community, it would be great, and I'm all for doctors, I'm all for the scientists trying to find out everything they can about this to find a cure. But as of right now, you cannot go to a doctor and get a magic pill and just take a pill and be cured of your depression. It'd be great if you could, but they don't have that because it's such a complicated disease. Doctors are working very hard, and I have a lot of faith in what they do, but this is a terrible illness that people have, and they've yet to find just one pill to cure this problem. But unlike so many other diseases in our society, one point that they have not stressed in depression is everybody understands about physical therapy. You can be hurt, have other illnesses, and you have injuries, and after this, the doctors recommend physical therapy. And everybody understands about physical therapy. You have to go and begin to retrain yourself to be able to physically function as you once did. And sometimes it depends on the person, how much they're committed to this therapy and how hard they work at it, the amount of recovery. Well, what's true in the physical sense is also true in the mental sense. You need to learn and develop a plan for mental therapy to be able to work your mind, to regain the use of your mind so you can regain your life. Life is not worth living if you have no joy in living. Then one part, this gets down into kind of a hard area for people to understand. Everybody understands the body has three parts. Most people only think in two dimensions. They think it's just mental and physical. You can see your hands, your legs, they move. You understand about the physical part. If you get sick physically, you most of the times can see this, you understand, it's easy for people to understand. When you get sick mentally, people can't see that. There's really no symptoms too much of mental illness from something like depression. But that gives us now to the third part of you. Have you ever stopped to think your mind, the part that produces the pictures and your thoughts that you see in your head, there's some part of you that decides to tell your mind what to do, to move your hand or move your leg. It goes to your mind, and then that command goes on out to your body. I believe that the mind has a part that works like a receiver, and it receives thoughts from that part of you that is you, that makes a decision how you're going to think, how you're going to live. And depression does something to destroy this connection between the part that is you and your mind. And you have to learn to regain this function between the part of you that is you, that makes decisions of what you're going to do and how you want to live life, and your mind, the part of you that has the thoughts and things that come to your mind, the pictures you see in your mind. That part of you, it works like a receiver. So it can receive thoughts from other places. I mean, it could be because of your mental imbalance, your chemical imbalance, your hormone imbalance, the stress you went through. And once your mind begins to become stressed, it can start running at a high rate of speed, just have thoughts firing in your mind, and it's out of control. And this is what leads to depression. So what I tried to teach in my book here is that you begin to train yourself to practice that your mind is your mind. It belongs to you. And you have to work at redeveloping the connection where you control the thought processes of your mind. You make your mind work for you. And this is not an easy thing to do. Like I said, I wish the doctors had a pill. I'm not against the doctors and what medication they got, but they still don't have the pill to give this to you. This is something you're going to have to work at, and it will take years, and you have to do the search. And that point right there, being raised in a Christian background, I could have gave a bunch of scripture in this book for people to go look and just read. But I didn't want to do that. I want people to realize that you got to force yourself and force your mind, because it's going to tell you can't do this, to seek. That's biblical. It also tells you in the Bible to study. So it's on you to do this. You've got to do it, because that's how you regain your mind, control of your mind, is by you forcing your mind to take in the things you want to take it in. And I think that's been one of the bad things about our modern day society, is that all the electronic devices, even starting with TV, begin to break this connection between who you really are, the part of you that makes decisions, and your control of your mind. In olden days, kids were taught from the Bible and from other books, and they were taught to study. And they didn't have all these distractions that we got with all the electronic devices. you have to spend time doing the study. These electronic devices just entertain people. And if you live a life of entertainment, you don't develop that good, strong connection and that mind control you need over the part of you that's you and your mind. All this stuff is a distraction. So you have to start training yourself. It's on you. There's something I can't do for you. Nobody can do it for you. Only you can train your mind. You've got to do the mental therapy. You know that physical therapy works. Everybody's seen somebody had to do physical therapy, and they did it because it helped them. Well, the same is true with the mental therapy. You've got to do the mental exercises. And one other thing about depression I would like to mention is that depression is so sneaky and so underhanded and devious that people don't recognize it for the evil that it is. And there's people who say, well, evil doesn't exist. Well, I have a simple definition of evil. Anything that wants to hurt me or destroy me is evil. So you're not going to tell me evil doesn't exist. If it's wanting to hurt me or destroy part of my life, that's evil. So it's up to you. You can go to the doctors and get medication, but it's up to you to do the mental therapy. That's what I had to learn. I had to learn it the hard way. Back when I got hurt, there wasn't the source of information like you have today, and I didn't have no guidelines. The doctors that day wanted me to put me on tranquilizers, and I didn't want a life of medication. I wanted a full life, that I wasn't being bothered by other things and something else controlling me. I wanted to control my mind and myself and my life. And you can do this, I don't care who you are, if you're willing to do the work and put the hard effort in. You have to start doing the research and study and seek, and most of all, you have to make that decision. Who does your mind belong to? Is it going to work for you, or are you going to let it work with depression? So that is what you're going to have to do. And I'm not telling you it's easy. I'm not saying, I've never used the word easy about it. It's a hard thing to do, but it's worth it. If you want your life, and you want your life back, you want to overcome depression. And most people never really truly get over depression. And there's some things that cause depression that you'll never get over the depression because it's so severe, it's so serious. And some of the things that cause depression never go away. But most people will benefit if they make the decisions to put the work in to attack depression. The way most people go about it, I call it passive. They think they can go to the doctor and get a pill and it's going to pass. But this is an aggressive approach to depression. It's you deciding that you want your life back and you're going to work to take your life back. So that's about the best thing you can do. So I hope everybody can listen to this and get something from it that's going to help you in life, help you overcome your problems in your life, and take your life back. Thank you very much.